And I wanted to do the details at home of our Native American. Again, as I mentioned, I was hoping to get to do some kind of a more ancient, but unfortunately I weren't doing modern, so I just semi-modern, so in other words 1800s to early 1900s. So I just gave in to that. And I also want to reiterate that if you down below we got where you can subscribe to my website, and I will be sending out I'll be sending out information on the latest stuff, and some are free videos, or some are free videos, of course, like this, with free patterns, and others are just, well, free patterns. And of course the latest on what's happening in the Scott carving world. But I'm going to move on, and like I've done before, to the best that I can with pictures, here's the little guy. And again, I will start at the bottom. And I'm more interested in his, here, this is the best I could have done with Daz, is just put on cowboy pants and boots. But here it kind of looks like just regular shoes. And he's got that legging there, and we're gonna work with that. But first, I want to get to the feet like I usually do, is start at the bottom here and work my way up and find our way to the head. The feet are a little bit too big, so I will start shaping them a little more. It's kind of, when I'm out in the field there, do the best I can. But when I'm at home is when I can concentrate more and come up with a better. Now the top of the leg, I will be thinning that out a little bit too. But the legging will be, now the legging doesn't go completely up to the, let me see if I want to shrink. No, well, at least make the small. I'll see if I have to shrink it later. I think, no, maybe a little bit. The legging will come up, we'll bring the the legs in, or the pants legs in a little bit, but they're a little loose, according to the picture, that is. I want to narrow a little bit, round it. We'll be rounding in a minute here, the way it's supposed to in a minute here. Here, I think he has, I don't think he's stepping forward that much, so I better take more of this off. Again, like I said, I'm just going to make it a little smaller. Because we'll be putting our shoe pattern on the bottom here shortly. But I think it's kind of fun being out there carving and being out there in the wilderness, doing wilderness carvings. I don't know, it's add a little extra flavor, extra history, so on and so forth. Keep shaping until I'm pretty well ready to get started on the feet. And I'm not gonna do any more pickings than I ought not to, because like if I go diggings here, oops, I just buried the knife. When you bury the knife, then you get into trouble. They're like that. But I do want to bring this up somewhat. There we go. We do want that, and I kind of want the back. maybe the arch back a little bit. I did say I was on the foot, but usually this is what happens, is that when I start with one and what's the next one, how it fits. So let's get it semi-symmetrical. Any more saw marks? I did have this one out away from his body a little bit. Now what I want to do, I'll put that up for now, and we're just going to talk about, oops, I don't want to get rid of that. Helvy, I'll use that a little later. I may use that a little much more later on. I'm still kind of in the rough out-ish stage here. Okay, pencil. Mr. Pencil, where are you? Somebody be way up there. I thought I had everything in order. But here we go. I kind of make a nice round. And it's a big circle. And it's going to take about 60% lengthwise of the foot. And this one will take about 40%. And there's still going to be a little bit more adjusting after this. After that first step we're going to take. Same thing here. About 60%. About 40-ish%. Circle. Up there-ish. And with that, first we'll, oops, lost my leverage there, my leverage. All right, now what I want to do is a little bit of this, just it's a kink. You don't have to go all the way in. It's just a little bit as to where that is. Round a little bit here, round a little bit here. We don't have to worry too much about rounding that. I just do it to get my bearings there, my bearings. Same with this side. It's just to put this little instep in. Now the instep should be more than the first step. The side step, the other side step, outer step. And we'll fix that. We'll clean that up a little later. Kind of where the grain ends up. Here, that's better going like that, I suppose. Now, when you look at the foot, it's looking a little bit more like a foot, but there's still adjustments. There's still more here. But I ain't worried about that right now. I'm more interested in the shape of the foot looking this way. Again. Okay. Take a little bit of the, probably don't need too much of that, but I did it anyways. But it's the instep that is important. And we'll do adjustments later, as long as it kind of looks a little bit like that. Since I need to shrink it a little bit or narrow it a little bit, I'd rather narrow it on this side because I still want to get or keep Now, I began to get the foot going on in here. Boy, excuse me. But the shoe and the boot, let me see, we don't have much of a profile. Well, anyways, the profile of the boot is not looking too snazzy on that. But what's happening now, what I'm interested, this is not going to be a boot, this is going to be a shoe, of course. It'll be like this. There's going to be a sole and a heel, but it's not going to be like this. This is not a cowboy, unless he is, you are intentionally having this Native American wearing a cowboy boot. It is not going to be deep. So here's where the toe is. This is the profile. And it kind of comes up like this. There's this bump right here. I want to say it's almost like a bump. And then it's kind of a shallow here. This side too. Toes. Up. It is kind of a bump. I almost want to say a bump there, but not particularly. So let's get the easy one first. The easy one to do is the one that's closest. Now the reason why you want to do the easier one is because if you're cutting what you're cutting off, you may give extra room for the harder, the more difficult one. That's why may. But if not, but then here, at least you're getting your bearings again. And there, so we got something like this going on. Now I think that's still a little, I think if I give it a little extra push like this. And again, we'll leave that to detail. Okay, this side will be a little more difficult because the shoe's in the way, but like I said, if we took, oops, I hate that scraping. I hate it when you, there's a cut. Now you probably could use a chisel if you want. A straight edge chisel, but now that I got it close, now I can come in and do little cuts, get the thumb out of the way, hand out of the way, oops, too much chatter in that last one there. Yeah, and even though I just sharpen this knife, there's still a little, what do you call, a little scratchy in there. And then, but I still want where the toes are, and it comes up to the arch. Okay, get ready for some more heavy lumber. I'm going to come back to the shoe in a little bit here. This way, I think it's still a little, this one's better. This one, I think it's just lacking this, where the toes are. More flatter. Now, before I get this, finish the shoe, I want to put the legging in because I think there could be more adjustment before I put the heel and the sole in. Because here's what we want right here. This, let me show you first and I'll bring it down, is right the top of the legging, right there in the center, and the bottom of the pants. Now the bottom of the pants, that's why I'm glad we got extra. He doesn't have big legs, but here's the bottom of the legging. Maybe a little bit of just to get this flap out of there. Don't be giving me any flap there. And then A little bit down, a little bit back up, a little bit down, a little bit back up. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm going to take a little quick break. I neglected. I did try again. This is the bad chisel, and I'm trying to get this chisel to work. Okay, let's see. I did the outer, but I did not do the inner. Now, that's getting there. That's a little. Now, what I want to do is, and you know what? It's not going to make any difference. Straight down is fine too, because you're going to be taking a lot off. So, usually I would, when something is overlapping. Now, the leggings will overlap the shoe, which is true. But there's going to be so much adjustments going on. So much adjustments going on. What am I missing? No, I was missing half of it. All right, there's that. Pencil. Now I want to say it would have to be below the knee, because now the knee is, first of all, let's get that. I'm pretty sure that the grain area is more up here. Oh, I'm backwards. In other words, the shirt. Let me look at my pictures, except he's got those bags in the way there. So I'll go about here. So the knee is going to be about here, here-ish. How much did I? I did kind of commit a little bit to the knee being there. And of course his, now that's the way it's supposed to be, more the butactal. And, now it's very interesting, this, like I said, this pattern will be a little more challenging when it comes to painting. You can do something close to it. But like I said, the Ojibwe Chippewa was very ornate with their... Now I think, I'm pretty sure the one on the left here, I'm pretty sure, I thought that was Ojibwe, but I think that could be... no, because yeah, look at here. Here's some of the flowery stuff. I don't know what he has there, but look at the flowery stuff on that baglier, or what do they call it? Baggy. You really don't have to be that ornate. Just probably do something. They do very flowery kind of stuff. Very flower. But that's not what we're worried about now. But today, what's going to happen is that there is going to be a lot of, let's say, dentage. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, dentage. So now, here what we want to do is we want to turn the V-tool where this end is up and this end is out. Even though there is going to be a lot of cutting here. Like I said, it is, oh, it's below the, I'm sorry, it's below the knee. I think what I did, I wrote in the knee, but I think we're still okay. Now, as I've mentioned, I may have mentioned with this carving, and I've done with the others in the past, is that I like to teach concept in beginning, starting from scratch carvings. And and I like to go through the trial and error, and I wanted you to see my trial and error and how if I screw it up, and if we screw it up, how we can fix it. Whereas, especially at this point here, you probably would have had this, you would have the pattern, and all of this would be out of there. And you probably have a nice zigzag in your pattern. We're going with the green, so be careful. Just so I can get in there. With the green, so I can get in there. Oh, now this is the right way. And I got one of those coming. Come and went. And we are, oh, careful. I mean, I know there's a lot to take off, but I want to be careful I don't go too far. Oops, I went too far in the foot there. Oh, hopefully okay. Let's see if I have to take any glue to it. Now, as I've said, I want to be careful here. I think I screwed up, and that is that according to this picture, that the legging is outside the foot. Let's see if we can still, I think we could still got plenty. All right, let's get back here. I wasn't paying attention, sorry. That's the only spot that I did that too. So I think we might be good. Even though there's still quite a bit more to cut and take off. And we, like I said, I kind of want them to lean a little forward. And we will definitely be coming back to this again and again. But if I can at least get the impression that this is on the inside, or that this is smaller than the pants, thinner than the pants, closer to the body than the pants, is what I'm trying to come across. And I want to do, and I'll do a little bit of shape. I don't know, it's loose enough that I don't need to do too much of shaping of the leg, other than it's a little wider here and you come down and it's a little narrow when you get down. That's about the only thing. I mean, there's no, calf definition. All right, I am going to leave that one there for now. I'm sure there's more to it. But again, inside, shoes on the inside. Pay attention now. And right now, it's kind of interesting when you take all this heavy stuff off. I want to say it's almost brainless. You're just grabbing the knife and you're just brainlessly taking pieces off, and you're not paying attention to making sure you don't carve in too far. Whereas when you get more into the detail or adjustments, then you can pay attention a little more. I still can take quite a bit off. I don't have to do any undercutting there. Oh, that shoe doesn't look good. Well, I can come in. Still making this round. Like I said, I want to try to make it where it comes narrower, even though it is basically a little more narrower at the bottom. Even though we don't really see much calf. But we still want to have the hint that it's still there. It's not totally 100% around. I seem to have forgot a spot. Yeah, there's still more I got to do on that tool for sharpening. Actually, that can come in quite a bit. Don't have to worry about overhang. Okay, give it a quick looky. I think I'm a little more smoothing out here. At least give the impression we know what we're doing. Okay. Now we're going to go with the pants. I'm going to leave that there. Well, no, I want to finish the shoe. I think we're pretty decent with the shoe. So what I want to do is, now you see all these cowboy caricatures, they lift that up and just lift it up a little bit. And like I said, this is a shoe. This is not a boot. This is a regular shoe. And we got to keep that in mind when we put the heel and the sole in. Still, it just, you just need to bring the bump back a little more. It just doesn't look right there. That looks a little better. That's better. I think that's what I'm goofing at a little more. Want some more. Okay. I like again so far, but we're going to get into the shoe here. What I want to do is, did I go all the way around? And make sure I went all the way, make sure I go all the way around. What did I do with this one here? I did not. Just lift it up a little bit. Because this is a worn out shoe. This is a shoe, it's not a big boot. It's not a clod hopping boot, it's a shoe. I'm going to put a little heel in. Like I said, a little, kind of keep that in mind just a little. Yep. Take that roughness out. Okay, same here. And I'm going to put, I want to put the detail in because it gets to the point where, you know, when we're done with the shoe, we'll be done with it, you know. Because we got plenty more other stuff we got to do. So I am not going to, let's see if we can do this. I'm not going to pencil it, just about where that mark is, and it is, he's getting better. But I think there's still more sharpening. Oops, not too deep. More sharpening for this guy. Get that out of there. So it is a small heel. Let's do that here too, just so it matches that. Right where it matches. Now for the sole, about the same distance, or thickness you might say, maybe a little less. And you're going to come down here and you're going to go across. Skirt across, a little bit up. See, I got some flatness on there because it's a shoe. Oh, I think I'm still having some issues. Then go up, or in this case down, around and meet where we started. Oops, I went too high here. Same thing here. Down and across. A little up because the toes went up. Back down. Across. Oops, it went up a little bit. Go up on top of the heel. Okay. I guess he's okay a little bit there. Now, I'm not gonna, usually I would, I think I'll probably take the chisel a little bit just to get some undercutting going on, but I'm still not 100% sure about this, about the thinning this, but just in case, I'm going to put at least a nice good V going on in there. Now, what I want to do is, this is a wore out shoe, right there about at the toes. Maybe here at the heel, or not at the heel, but closer in. It's worn, he's worn out. This shoe has seen better days. This shoe has seen better days. I'll bring it up as soon as I'm done here. As mentioned before, is that people are complaining I'm carving too fast. I'm trying to get this as a weekend project well, in this case, I think this is like about a 3.5 hour video. Couple of dents in it. Continue on with that. A few dents here and there. Where's my brush? Flaps don't want to get out of there. Get out of there. Okay, here we go. Get a gander here. We did the circles, 60-40. I wanted this one to go out a little bit because he's going to be leaning in this way for a reason. I think I already let the cat out of the bag, but we'll just leave it there. We just say, oh, he's looking at Junior there. Let's just say that. He's looking at Junior. Let's just say, for now. Pretend I didn't say anything. But there you are. There's the, here I'm going to go to an angle like this. There's the dents. I forgot to take the stabilizer out because when I move this around, now I go like this. Oh, it's better than it was before. Oh, maybe it's an automatic thing. Because when I move this, then the background would. I wonder if it's an automatic thing from the last carving. Okay, there we are. Some odds and ends, so you can get back to that later. Now, before I start in on the pants, I am thinking that this shirt is or not shirt. This is going to be a like what I have here, a vest. Whoops. There we go. And that's what I want. I saw some others that he had a vest and a shirt. And so with that vest, now his vest, and I think we should do that, is put it up to the groin, which is about the halfway point or a little farther down. If he had a regular head, it would be halfway down, give or take. But if we were to pretend his head was about here, so 8, so about 4, maybe right about, because if I go like this, so let's say about, let's say about 4, so the grain is here. So if the grain is here, then therefore the vest is going to be here. Now I'm not sure about a belt. I'm okay with not having a belt, but let's see what happens. So a little, whoop. Now let's make my rough out V. Again, this end is up, this end is out. And again, for the umpteenth, what I'm doing right now is you're probably looking at me and, well, I don't need to do that. So again, if you do this according to pattern, you probably check, because since you got a cutout, check if my idea of where the grain is supposed to be is correct with yours. And again, let's utilize we could use our knife, but it's like, well, I got this in hand and that much less the knife have to futz with. All right, so let's do that. Just get the knife now and see, it's easier instead of doing big pieces. Almost to the point of as if it never happened. Well, man, I'm going to do a little bit of this just to pull that out. I'm going to go straight down. I'm not really ready to do any undercutting there. Get careful around the bag here. Like I said, I never got around to trying to figure out how it's pronounced. It almost sounds like Bagliero, or it's kind of, I'll get back to that kind of a looking thing. But that would suggest more like a Spanish / Mexican word. And he's in the other direction. This is a northern Indian, Native American. Quiet it a little bit, hopefully. Oops. I cut this way and I cut this way. There we go. So let's get now and get this for cleaning up here. Cleaning up on just a little bit of addition here. And so, like I said, the grain is going to be about here. And we're going to come down here, like this. There, I'm starting to feel a little better on that. Same with on the other side. Let's just clean this, just to clean it a little bit, because we want it, don't flatten it, because that's his butoctyl there. And come here. It's going to be like this, and you know, I just feel a lot better about that. Again, just getting started. Just want a little bit, just a little bit. I mean, if I work this a little bit while I'm here, let's start working that a little bit. And what happens is, just to get this started here, he comes around, because there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be a lot of flap there. But if we get this kind of starting around a little bit, then you can start seeing it happening here. And so, starting to round this, and round this. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time you watching me picking. And then we're rounding, getting to towards the knee. And the thing about this is, I think most of the knee is going to be hid with the with all that bent there, bent material by the legging. But if I can just put that in. Put that in, and now here's what I want to do. I mean, we can use just about any kind of, let's say magic, but I'm gonna go like this. Put that first dent in and use it. I'm kind of using a little bit of what I've known before, and see if that'll be all right, where it's like this. Now the thing is, this, we don't want to get too deep, because that's where the knee is. Now we can do all kinds of, but I want this to be more sharper. Instead of put the first dents in on that. And then what's going to happen is that if this, once we get into here, then that means we're going to have to thin this out a little more. That's why I wanted to keep that. I want to put it all together first before before I kind of commit to saying that's it. And I'm going to do another Sharpie right here. It's not directly behind, but and we're just dinging it up right now. But we'll come back later on this when we do some undercutting. Do the same over here. Cut this way. Now we're really moving some lumber out of there. There is still much more, and of course this is kind of hidden here. This bag is hiding it. When we come in the back here, I mean, it's still a little mechanical, but we'll just later. I just want to get a lot of this lumber off as we can. Get that off there. And another one of these. Little hint this way. Little hint this way. Again, adjustments, cleaning out. And I'm glad we're really moving that lumber. And with that, it is looking better. Hold on, let me. There's still a lot of cleaning up to do, but that's kind of how I got that started. And with that, of course, obviously there is going to be a lot of adjustment on that vest area there. So again, I am hauling more lumber than you will with your pattern, because you got the finished product and all this will be off. But again, I just want to show you how I go through the process of coming up with ideas, as well as you coming up with your own piece there. And again, you got 1,000 flaps when you do that. And like I said, this looks too mechanical right now. We're going to be doing quite a bit more adjusting. What I might want to do is move forward and get up to the vest and the arms. And what the plan is, just a little kind of preview. There's the arms, the two hands coming together holding the piece pipe. And it's not going to be too much of a piece, but I got about 1/4 inch. And I'll be drilling, before I get into the hands and whatever, I'll be working with the chest a little bit, and I'll be figuring out how this works. I'll be doing the drilling, and then the piece pipe is mostly just we cut this off, and then you kind of put it over right here, and all kinds of other little adjustments. Or you can actually find a piece pipe on the internet. But like I said, this is just going ahead, and of course we've got to do the head. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to stop kind of right here and then just get right into the vest. Heading back. I hope you don't mind the rumbling of the air conditioner that is happening in the background. It's in the 90s here. Now if you're people from Arizona, it gets up to 100. Yeah, except we got the humidity. I think there's other states that got heat and humility, a lot of humility. Anyways, zooming back in. Now I'm going to get into that. Well, to get into the shirt, I want to get into the arms, make sure the arms are correct one way or the other, and also the figure. And I keep bumping into this right there, and I keep bumping into the. Oh, I'm bumping into. I'm on the wire. Moving my feet, and it mysteriously rocks on its own. Like I said, she is a hot one. She's a hot one today. Alright. Getting back. Now I got this gentleman here. He is going to do this and this. I do have the arms coming down, kind of straight down. We got like this. Like this. Head's down a bit, except it doesn't go down as far as I want it to. That's the problem. And so the idea is, or the understanding is, that since this is a, oh my goodness, a 1.5 times bigger than it is, therefore the arm should be less than the width of this arm, but being a caricature, we'll kind of keep it kind of close, but as long as we take care of, this is where I get kind of an idea. Now, most of the pictures, like to picture a little bit of this guy here, no, this guy, he's got a lot of back. That's coming straight down, but mostly when you get a profile, you see the arm comes down more towards the back than the front. So I'm kind of learning as I go-ish kind of a thing here. I want this one, this, and I want no more than that, so I'm gonna that or less, and certainly much less with this. And this is going to be a sleeved arm, so we'll have a little bit. So I want more of it to come off here, and he does have the muscles, so I kind of leave that for now. I think we'll shape it more as we go. How does this look this way? Make sure it's landing just about on the same spot. Same thing, it's just a little bit more. And I want to use my bigger tool here just to get her started. Where are you? Where's this? And I'm just trying to get some lumber off. This is what I'm trying to do here. Just getting the lumber off. Same on this side here. Alright, same on this side here. Let's get the lumber off. Now again, as I said a million times, and I'll say a million times again, is that you have a better rough out or cutout pattern than I do. So maybe some of this, just check the arm. Make sure the arm is not as wide as it's supposed to. I mean, not that if it helps any, but if yours is like the right pattern, 8 inches tall, it's about 3/4 of an inch, pardon me. I come back from lunch and therefore the after lunch kind of snoozies. But I don't want to be too tired to jab a tool into something. Alright, so let's kind of round it just a little bit just to get our bearings. Now, as I have mentioned before, that we put this in, not for the sake of, because we're getting closer to the end, it's a detail, but it allows me to this is going to come out. It allows me to round the arms. Now there's going to be quite a bit coming up here, so I can dig for some. Take some of this, I know. Well, I better be careful, not too much. Now, according to my dad's picture, is that there seems to be a light between here and the arm, and it more than likely is true. Well, it is bigger. We're going to have to shrink the body a little bit. This is what we may have to do. But again, how did it look on the pants here? And the vest is not really going to be that much sticking out, so much more off. There we go. And as you can see, as we take off more this way, at the bottom of the shirt area, we would, or vest area, we obviously are going to have to cut. It's almost, but you just got to clean it up for now. Clean it up for now. I want to thin this a bit, because again, also here comes across. That's why I'm doing arm and body at the same time. It's like, as I said, try to get my bearings. And now the same with this side. Just take a little bit of the chest off here. Get that started. Now it's the same on this side here. We neglected this side. Rounding him a little bit. Still shaping. Now this one here. Shrinking him a little bit. Come back this way. I don't want him too scraggly, but I don't want him too big either. And the shoulder's got to come back a little bit. I know it's supposed to be farther back, but I don't know if it's supposed to be that far back. Okay, now I want to pencil in and get started on the forearms and the hand. Like I said, I'm gonna get my bearings on it, and I'm going to get my, let's see, this can go away not too far. Like I said, I'm gonna drill a hole to do the peace pipe, but I want to know what I'm doing here. And this one here, a little help right there, a little help with that right there, a little help my little friend there. Now this kind of looks like, where is he? This guy here. I'll zoom it. Well, shall I zoom it a little bit? All right. His arm's going to come down. But again, I don't want to separate. So in other words, I'm going to bring the arm up like this. It's going to go down. I'm going to bring this hand up here. He's going to be a little bit down. But more, no, this is the one that's more open. It's kind of a loose. Like that. Again, let's get our chunk. You know what? Let's get. Where is my favorite tool? My favorite rough out tool, and that is no, not that one. Oh, where'd you guys go? Ah, there he is. Big number 5. My big, not. I wanted 5. My big number 11. I can get rid of most of it. Same with this. Still chopping away here. Nope. Same way on this side. Oh, so then with the knife will do better here. I'm taking the circles out. Now I'm not going to undercut that much. I did start the undercutting. Same here. Whatever chisel that will do the job. Especially when we're in, taking. Oh, where are we here with all my other tools? smoothing out, and like I said, we can round here, but I don't want to round yet. I think this might go in quite a bit yet. There's a lot of going in-ness that's going to happen, if you will. Going in-ness. So, now what do we need on this side? This side doesn't have to do too much. I think I started in with my V. Which I'll probably continue on a little bit here. Just to get the border. The border and the barrier. Now here, I need to be careful because I don't think, I can probably take a couple swipes. But that's as far as I can go. That one, number 11 at number 11 at 5. Where is my, ooh, I think that might be too big. Well, it doesn't matter if I hit the bag, I think just as much as the bag. And where is it? Here we go. Or should we use this one first? I think we should. Is that the wrong direction? Maybe this instead. So getting this, I mean, I might be wasting kind of my time with in between here. I wonder if the bag is going to end up coming down anyways. So you are, again, maybe seeing something that is not right on your carving. There. Now I want to smooth this out a little bit. Smooth this out a little bit here. Now I'm pretty well sure we're going to end up trimming that quite a bit, but if I can get the shape, the general shape, that kind of a thing. I'm starting to feel pretty good about this. Now I want, I'm using mostly this, sorry, this end to thin out his figure a little bit. So we can get close to it. It's always good to get close to where you want to go, and then you can always trim and fix later. Well, let's clean this out a little bit, even though I'm pretty sure we'll be doing more. Oh, and I almost forgot. Ooh, don't get too thin, because we still got to put this in. But again, we still got plenty. Same in the back, we got plenty. But just don't get too cocky. Don't get too cocky. Yeah. A little more, it's about maybe a little bit. Well, I'll shape the hand later. I'll shape this after I shape the hand. Same on this side here. Now, I am going to, for the sake of getting the saw marks off, kind of semi-committing here to trying to round the hands and see how the hands work. And I can put in my drill bit and it is cardinal o'clock. Now what I want to do is add a little bit of a scoop here before the hand. Should be a scoop, and then it doesn't have to be too perfect. He's wearing a shirt. If he was naked or nude or something. Now this hand, what is his hand doing is kind of coming underneath. And he has it so it scoops up. Sort of, well, there's still some more saw marks there. No undercutting, I'm still figuring things out. Especially figuring out where the hole's going to go. And this hand is going to be kind of flat in. Now this one here, I gotta be careful. There's still quite a bit of cutting here. Remember that little loop I was talking about right here before the hand? We may have to come in quite a bit here. There, just a little bit there. First I said quite a bit, and then I said a little bit. Come in. Open that. Now he not too much under. Just said don't do under, and I just turned around and did it. A little bit of cleaning here while we're at it. Oops, not too much. Okay, now the hands, I feel pretty decent about the hands somewhat, because this is going to kind of go flat this way. So that you're going to come up. Flat this way. Okay, I want to stop right there so I can put in, so his hand is going to be like this. This hand is already come down quite a bit. And I do need at this angle, and I do need to cut a little bit more of this off to make this little, make it almost as big or small as smaller hand. I always take the smaller. It's almost like underhanding. Like he's holding it up, like he's holding up the baby, or a baby. So I'm going to take the break right now from this, and what I want to do is I want to figure out how I want to put the, oops, so what are you doing? Maybe a little bit more from there to here. Okay, there we go. And I want to figure out, using this picture, now I believe that the peace pipe, and then his hand's going to be kind of in this direction, or underneath. This hand is more like this direction, pardon me. I goofed up, why didn't you tell me? See, it's how the arm comes. Where's my peace pipe? So this is going to take some doing. What I do, well, before I do that, I still want to take more. Well, here, let's do this. Since I need to commit to this, let's take, and this has got to go. Because I do need to take some off. And it is a wider band. That's the thing that's really interesting. It is wide. This is just not a simple Santa pouch. So, it is kind of covering the collar. So we might not have to deal with that. But it does go over the shoulder. So it's got to go over the shoulder. So reevaluate. Re-eval. I still want it this thin, or this thick. Same with the back is, it's going to come in. I do need to just a little bit to get my bearings. Same width, so I need a little bit more this way. So, I need my cutout V. I'm sure I'll be straightening it out more as I go. Again, I want this end up, this end out. As much as you can. If you can't, if you have to lift it, so be it. At least you can get it started. Same with in reverse. This end up, that end out. A little bit of cleanup with the same tool. This end out, or that end out, this end up. I always say this and that. This is always closer than that. So this end is up, that end is out, vice versa. This end is down, that end is up. Now we'll have to figure this out. We'll figure it out. We'll fix it. So now I'm feeling a little, oops, where are we? Better as to what we're doing here. Oops. Hope I didn't fix it. Screw it. And again, I'm going to take this just a few swipes, so when I do use my knife, it's much cleaner, it's much easier. Let's take away. So now let's do a little bit of the back while we're at it. So more shaping, more thises and thatses. Things that arch the back a little bit. Now that we're round this a little bit, cleaning up. Now we're working on the back a little bit. That's that much less we have to work to when we get back to it. But like I said, my focus right now, believe it or not, is get everything situated right so that I can figure out how that hole is going to be drilled in for him to handle the peace pipe. And pickings later. Pickings and details later. I'm just going to do a little bit of this. Now same with this side here. Against the grain, sorry, or with the grain. So yeah, there's a little bit of cleaning up, but we're getting there. Getting the shoulders rounded a little bit. We'll get to the neck and all that, but let's clean this a bit. Here we go. Now if we were to clean this a bit, here we go. Then I need quite a bit of this knocked off. See how you got this doesn't match this. Because this can tell me how much closer I can get. I would like to get the hole and have him, because he is holding, according to the picture here, he's holding the peace pipe sort of against his chest. And okay, that's getting better. Then I do want to pencil. I'm not penciling because we're going to have to move. We may have to move this depending on how. I want to get his not collar, cuff right here, and this is going to be about here-ish. Like I said, we may end up moving it. I don't want to fart with it right now. While we're at it, let's get this cleaned up too much because we want the strap to come down. After I drill that in there and get the hands done, I'm going to do this next. Well, this would be the most logical next item to do. And you know while I'm at it, get that ugly saw marks off. Let's get that just saw marks off. I know we're going to be cleaning that, but take some of the ugliness off right now. Okay. I gotta be careful when we do the head. His head is down. He's looking down at something, and I ain't gonna say, I already said it. Yeah, rulers are good for at least other things too. All right, I am going to give this a. Where are we here? Where's my? Where is there? It is just a quickie here. Take some. If there's anything in there that is annoying or take downstairs. Now it's there's a lot of flaps and stuff like that, but the focus is figuring out, and I would rather show you after I figure it out. We'll be back. Well, it's excuse me, the next morning, and I think if you can hear it, the air conditioner is on already, and it was a scorcher yesterday, 97, and it's going to be a semi-scorcher today. Anyways, we were supposed to get some rain yesterday, but we didn't, or last night. But anyways, enough of my complaining. What I did is adjust the camera so we could, there we go, and see that I did drill the hole, and it's a tight one. I think sometimes the dowels, I mean, this is like it was supposed to be here. It is supposed to be a 1/4 inch dowel. And I mean, I trust my drill bit before I trust the diameter of the dowel. And of course, maybe after the dowel was made and I know moisture got in, it's a little thicker, wider, whatever. I don't know if you ever experienced that. The other thing I would do is get the next drill bit higher, but then it would kind of slide out a little quicker. I mean, it's okay if it was a stick because it would kind of hold a little better. But here's the hole, as I want to do. Where are you? Is the hand, his hand is much like that. And I did put the sleeves in correctly. Now the thing, I'm going to it's best to work again with the sleeves first. Come on, there you go. And then work with the hand. This is going to be a sleeved hand. As you can tell now with this one here, the standing one, you know, he's got some kind of a sleeve. Well, of course, my dad's has a sleeve. And others that are wearing shirts have a sleeve. And so I want to begin with that. And I want to keep in mind what I want to do is keep these hands together. I will adjust to make the hands stay together. And because again, if they separate, then you gotta cut in there and play and punch, just like you gotta get down here. And I'd rather do without. Okay, I like the sleeve on this one. But this one, I'll have to do a little bit of adjusting. Like that. It's kind of straight up and down. We'll be doing all kinds of adjusting. And it's okay if the sleeve has to be pulled back to fit the pipe. Alright, like I said, I want to work the sleeve back first. Oops. Move that out of the way. Even it out a little bit. Even it out a little bit. A little less. I wonder if my, let's see, I did work with this a little bit more. Let's see how he's working. Let's see if he's behaving. My medium size. See? Then we'll have to come back to this. I'm a little nervous because it appears that this arm is longer than this arm. Let's see if we can make some adjustments for that. I mean, if you look straight in, you probably won't even tell by that much. We'll probably come back a little bit this way. Okay, now I did mention this before I got this. So I got it started, so the arms are, and so we can still shrink the arms a little bit because it is smaller. And by doing this, I can probably bring this a little bit more forward and bring this a little bit more back. Let me look things over here. All right. What I always mention is that you want to work on the smaller of the two first, and make it right, and then make the other one. What's going to happen is that we're going to make some stop cuts. Let's get this guy out of the way, I'd say. And the sleeve is going to come in more. Now we may end up shrinking the hands a little bit. Even in here. You know what is my Helvey? That's my secondary. Is he still sharp? There we go. Let's use him for a while. So I'm kind of okay with that wrist. Get in there a bit. I don't want to separate the hand from the body. Use this one here. I want this one right in there a little better. There we go. Now, as I said, I can try to move, because the arm, you get the biceps here. The shoulder is always like a little wide, and then it gets narrower. So I'm not going to work. I'm not going to play with this, with the back. I'm going to play with the front. See if that'll help some. Still relatively sharp. Use the chisel at least to get the wood out of there. You'll be using your knife to make to make the shadow, but I don't want to get into that yet. I want to shape first, shape all right here. Let's see how does the chest look. So we'll finish this. It is. I need to get my knives sharpened. I'm going to come up in an angle like this at first, just to pull some of that out of there. Just to begin the pulling process. I'm going to bring this at kind of about a 30-degree angle-ish. No, a 40-degree angle. And there's a lot of cleaning. Like I've said before, I don't want to waste your time doing this cleaning. I just want to make sure that get the roughs. So let me try to literally sharpen my knife and give this an extra push on there to now I'm going to dig in here, not for the sake of shadow, but for the sake of shrinking it a little bit more, because according to my pattern is that there is a separation here where you can see daylight. And I don't know if I want to work doing that. You can if you want. That means shrinking the body, because if I shrink the body, I mean, I could. See, we got this right here. Sort of like but the question is how to get in there. I thought if you can just at least give it a little oomph to show that you had that in mind. That's the best we can do. It shows shadow. There, at least we got some shadow going on, and of course I got to do quite a bit of cleaning, straightening, this and thatting. There's little boogers in there, but I will play with that later. I mean, the arm is not too shabby. I'm a little concerned about being... Take some more out here. To lengthen that a little bit. I'm getting pretty close. I might get the daylight, but I don't want to work on that. I don't want that to happen. No, I don't care for it to happen. It's okay if it was easy to do, and so on, I do it. And I think I may have broke through. Yes, I did. You can see a little bit of daylight. Let me see if I can get it so you can see it. Where is it? Where is it? I'm going to need to maybe a little bit of this. Yeah, there's going to be some puffing kind of extra. Let me just kind of like put one in, like just what I'm, so you can see what I'm talking about. Like I said, I don't want to get into too much detail now. We're still kind of semi-shaping. So we're going to do a lot of that. And then, like I said, puffing. So we're going to be doing a lot of that later. Like I said, we still are trying to get to the hand. And starting with the arms, I want to be careful. You know, where does that go? Fingers out of the way. Undercut. Now, though the arm is raised, the not so much the arm, but the sleeve is raised off the body, we still want to keep that hand yeah, I'm not going to waste more time. I'll pick at it later. I even got some files or something to at least get the lumber off is the main thing. And by playing with that, because remember this is a vest, because this is a shirt, and then this is a vest. So we want to be careful of here. But arm. Now if I were to bring it down this way a little more, this, yeah, we got quite a bit to bring down. Quite a bit to shorten. So we're beginning to shorten it quite a bit. Now again, there's the separation of the arm here from the body, if you want to. I don't particularly, but I'm not putting, oh yeah, I'm putting the shade in there, shadow in there, but I'm doing that for the sake of rounding than I am for the sake of the shade itself. The elbow, this is a little lower, should be lowered. Get out of there. So again, a little bit of this to help round. Same with here. Not so much for the sake of putting in shadow, which it will, but for rounding purposes and to almost give the impression that there is some separation here. That could happen, but the thing is the bag here, or the pouch here, holder is in the way. Same with here. So be careful, this part is still supposed to be higher than the sleeve. So let's take care of that before we get into trouble here. Make sure that this sleeve matches this sleeve. would like to, once the hand is done, I like to get to that pouch. It's getting kind of tired looking at it. I do want to separate the sleeve a little bit from the body. You just take it one little chip at a time to accomplish these tasks. Like I said, I like the roundness. I like the roundness, and I like the shadow. It just really adds to your carving. Let's clean this up a little bit here. And what I mean by value is not only just monetary value, of course, but more like well, monetary value because you get the value of how it looks and the joy, pride, whatever, of having this piece on your mantle or your customer's mantle. All right, I'm ready to go. Like I said, I'll put another puffery in there. Maybe while I'm at it, just probably do a couple of them. So it's got to be wide. Why not? Might as well do it now, so you don't have to come back to it. Do a few of them. So we don't have to come back again. Then we want to do a little bit of the scooping. To add to the puffing here. Oop. Watch the green. Where's the green? And then kind of round it a little bit. Watch the green again. Taking some of the sharpness off. And I might want to add just a little bit. Oops, screen goes this way, sorry. And still more picking and a choosing, and I'm sorry, picking and a grinning. For all those who know what that means. Again, let's do it. Let's get it done. Where's it? Oh, it's right here. And a puffer, and then there's a pencil mark. little bit. Just a little bit of roundness. And again, this is in the picking and adjustment stage. Or did you want to put another one in there? Should we put another one in there? Picking and adjusting. I'll put another one in there later. And a little bit of a puffin. This would be good to do if you're going to like Revolutionary War soldiers like that. All right, let's move on. Now I want to watch the hole here when we start trimming. So I'm going to take a little bit off here. Because where does that hole go through here? Which means I could take off quite a bit here. I can probably take a little bit off, quite a bit off here. And again, I guess your pattern is a bit easier than mine, but be careful. Be careful we don't. I mean, if it accidentally leaves, the hole is shown, we probably can, as long as it isn't the hand that's screwed up. If it's through the sleeve or something, then it's okay, but I still want to work on it not coming through that hole, not coming through. Again, more in the pickings. If the hand is turned, so I'm going to shape it as I go here. So the hand will be turned. I'm a little leery about how deep this is. And so therefore, let's even get underneath for the fingers. And let's see what happens. Okay, let's shape the other one. So there's quite a bit of, okay, here, catch up here. Sorry, going fast again. Catch up. And the sleeve and the puffery, and yeah, there's still a lot of picking and shaping and all kinds of this and that to do, but I just want to at least get the gist in here. Watch that hole where it comes in, comes out. Because I think I can still take quite a bit, I think. Be careful. I would stick this in there, would I? Would that help me a little bit? Well, I think it won't. I don't think it will that much. Oops. Let's get this here. Don't you just hate it? You make your cut, and it just sits there. So I can come out here a little bit. just to clean that out there a little bit. Okay, now I think that stick is starting to get in the way. And anything, just a little bit down, a little bit. But now I'm going to put a little bit here. Oops, watch the grain. Here's where we can take quite a bit off. And I wanted him to have a relaxed hand like that picture, but if it's not going to work, he's got more of a clutching hand. But you know what? It's getting to the point where I'm good. This can come in a little bit here. Or at least relatively, oops, good enough to get the hands going. Let's go a little bit in here. I want to do a little bit of undercutting for the sake of rounding. Yep, get my bearings. Again, they like that shadow, but it's more for rounding. And be careful I don't go too deep here. Well, if I go deep here, if it shows here, we're okay. I prefer not to. That's okay, but we do need this to be sharp. Okay, here's what we got in the hand. I'm going to start in. Start on the fingers and everything. Even though, oh my goodness. Even though, my goodness. Even though, my goodness. Now this, I want to be careful here. But here I can dig a little bit. Only a little bit. I'm still a little leery about it being, but the thing is well, I might be a little leery about getting too close to the hole there, but I still need to put fingers in. But this, okay, let's put the planes in. Okay, we can have these holding the stick close to his body. So therefore, this first knuckle, the wrist to first knuckle. Oh boy. Here. Wrist to first knuckle. And then that's when the fingers will start, because I think we're getting kind of close here. Or, yeah. Because the problem is he's going to be clutching instead of relaxed. And it's just going to have to come around. There's the hole, but careful. All right, there, I think we can pretty well live with that. And this is going to come at an angle. That goes down at an angle. Okay, there's the planes that I got. I think we're just going to have to be good with it. And just make adjustments later. Because he's a clutching. I'm going to move everything over to this way a little bit. there's the center line. And a little more pinky. This hand, here's the first knuckle. I think if I'm careful, define careful. A little bit off here, there we go. Because the fingers are going to shape around the peace pipe. And a little bit of adjusting here and there would make it a little more realistic, but so for now, get that out of there, that's bothering me. Now, how do I like that? I think I might have to move anything over. I'm going to move this way because a lot of that is going to go away. So I need more pinky. Just a little bit more forefinger. Okay, first thing I want to do is carefully, let's do the plane. This plane here like this. Am I going against the grain or with the grain? And I'm just going to do just a little scoop, just a nice little scoop. Nice little scoop. This is going to get kind of close here. And now, of course, the thumb is in there. What we're going to do is hopefully we can get a little bit of a thumb in there. And again, we are picking. Pick and clean later. Same here. Now this is going to be kind of dangerous, especially right here. Just a little bit of a scoop. I think we can do much more scooping as we go down. Because it's nice concave scoop, and I still think we could probably get rid of some more of this. I think. I want to keep shaping the hand a little bit more. If it happens to peep through, it didn't, we're okay here. But we don't want it to peep through here. I want to do a little bit of separation. Not only for, again, for the two purposes. Same with down here. When I do this finger here, I will separate better. But one thing is for sure, while we're at it, now let's shape the hand there. There we go. Now let's look at the hands. Do they look semi the same? One bigger than the other? Which I hope not. I think this we could